Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, amma ba'd. So guys,
Hai.
today in this occasion, I'm going to give a presentation, Pechakucha presentation about a country. And here, so I'm going to give a presentation about United Kingdom. The country is United Kingdom. So, for the capital city of United Kingdom is London, and the population here is about 67.85 million. And there are four countries that made up the sovereign nation of the UK, and there are England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Language. The UK people use English as their native language, but the difference between the English and other countries' language is their accent. Yeah, people have different accent, of course. In UK, especially, they use British accent. And then, so the form of the government in UK, they use a monarch. So there is a king and a prime minister. For the leader of the country, is King Charles III. He was appointed to be the leader of the country in 8 September 2022. And for the Prime Minister is Rishi Sunak, also appointed to be the Prime Minister at 2022. So, history. The history of UK, the most famous history, and we all should know about, should have heard about it, is about Jack the Ripper, the famous murderer that even until now his identity is still unknown. So if there's a murder, of course there's a victim. There is about 5 victims that is famous and called the Canonical 5. The Canonical 5 Ripper victims are Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Catman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Calvin. Currency. The currency in United Kingdom, they use pound sterling, and 1 pound sterling equals 20,000 rupiahs. For the culture in United Kingdom, for fashion and culture, they used actually back in 19th. They use like the fashion as you can see here. Picture here. For male, they used for the male. They used usually they will use hat, and then they will use tie, and usually they will draw a mustache. And then also the culture includes their attitude because they use a magical word. The magical word is like sorry, thank you, excuse me, and like that. And then they really keep a privacy of others. For example, like if we tell someone our story, our private story, or our secret, they will really keep it and will not tell to the others. They won't tell to the others about our privacy. And they will keep a privacy. And then their culture also, they're having usually they will have a tea time in one day. So there's always a time for a tea, for a cup of tea usually. They'll have time for a cup of tea and afternoon. Then typical food. Usually for breakfast they will have an egg, sausage, bread, bacon, like a peanut or a bean, and olive oil, tomato, and potato. And there's also here fish and chips. Who would have known that fish and chips is the typical food of United Kingdom, even I don't know. And then tourism place. Here, actually there's many tourism places in United Kingdom, but in London, especially here, there is a Big Bang, a watch, a clock, a big clock that is really famous and symbolizes the United Kingdom country. And then there is London Bridge, or one of the tourism places is also requires. Not required. It's also a Oxford. You know Oxford University in UK. Because their building is unique, it became a tourism place. And so many tourists came there just to take a photo. Education. So the education system in UK is compulsory and free. And UK provide the best university in the world, such as Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, and more. And by the way, UCL stands for University College of London. Yeah, and as you can see here, their building is unique. It's like an ancient building. And what's good about it is, even if it's a real ancient building, they really take good care of it because it still looks good. Yeah, it's unique. And that's why they became one of the tourism places in UK. Famous in the country. Again, famous in the country, of course, the tourism places are the thing that symbolizes the UK. Like the Big Bang here, it's unique because it's a clock and it's that big. And also the structure of the buildings, it's like an ancient building. And then this telephone booth, maybe it's pretty famous in UK because the United Kingdom is the only one left that take good care of this telephone booth, and no others, I think. Famous product here. I only show about two, but there's more. So here there is two product brand of United Kingdom. First there's Aston Martin, brand of a sport car, and then there is Bentley, of course. Also a brand of a car, and both of them are an expensive car, of course. Films, film. So as you can see, there is actually many famous movies, films made by UK, but I only show you guys three here. There is Sherlock Holmes, the most famous and the greatest detective of all time, Sherlock Holmes. It's not he's only good at films, but also in a story, in novels, he's the greatest detective. And he's taken from a book, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So he's the creator of the novel, Sherlock Holmes novel. Sadly, it's a fantasy, it's not a real detective. But yeah, it's a great movie. And then there is Harry Potter. Of course, I think all of us know the Harry Potter movie here, because I think it's the most famous movie from UK. It's about school. There's a school called Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizard. So it's about magic. And this is taken from a novel too, created by J.K. Rowling. And there's Fantastic Beasts. So these two movies, their story is actually connected, but they have a different timeline. So like Fantastic Beasts is actually the senior. So the main character, the MC here, is the senior of Harry Potter with a different timeline. And so moving on to the famous actor from UK. There is Benedict Cumberbatch. He's well known. He's acting for Doctor Strange. Everybody knows who this Doctor Strange is from Avenger, or directed by Marvel. Benedict Cumberbatch. And then there's Tom Holland. Of course, he's famous because he became Spider-Man. And then there's Daniel Radcliffe, who became Harry Potter, the actor of Harry Potter. And then there's Rowan Atkinson, the actor of Johnny English, or we all know as Mr. Bean.
Yeah. It's Mr.
And then for public transportation, I think the most famous public transportation, it's this red bus, because this really symbolizes symbolizes the country, UK. It's the only bus, the only red bus is famous, and it only symbolizes the UK. Actually, there is more, not only this red bus, also there's a train or taxi, but the famous and symbolize the country is this, red bus. And for the weather, there is 4 seasons, of course. There is fall or autumn, and then there's winter, summer, and then there's spring. Famous sport? Yes. There is several famous sports in UK. Like here, there's football, or in America we call it as soccer, and there is cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah, cricket, and then there is in UK they call it as rugby, or in America, they call it as American football. And then interesting things in the country. Again, interesting things in the country. It's about their tourism place or their culture. Because once again, they are famous because of their structure, the building of their structure, or they're keeping the culture alive. Like this telephone booth, they're the only country that still have this telephone booth. Even though we didn't use it anymore, we don't use it anymore, but they still take good care of it. Or like the buildings, the structure. I think even though if it's made like the ancient building, or if it's a real ancient building, they really take good care of it. And then there's this red bus. It's interesting because because we never ride one, of course. And then the typical animal in UK, there is roe deer, red squirrel, and fox. Yes. I never know that fox was a typical animal of UK until now. Fox is a typical animal. And so, maybe that's all for my presentation, my Pechakucha presentation about United Kingdom country. So thank you for your attention. Shukran. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.